Ayo, what's up? Ako nga pala si BT at nandito ngayon tayo sa BT Reaction and welcome to my channel, Tunay na Kritiko. At syempre, meron tayong panonooring isang video ngayon. Ito po ay nagmula kay Salomo 21. Ayan, sa mga hindi pa po nakakabisita kay Salomo 21, bisita na po kayo mga katunay, at kung hindi pa kayo nakakapag-subscribe, subscribe na po kayo mga katunay kay Salomo 21. At wag na natin pagtagalin, syempre. Eto, mamamasyal tayo sa Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. O, sino yung mga nakaabot dito? Siyempre, alam natin na mayroong mga nakaabot dito sa Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. Ngayon, bibisitahin natin, no? Sasama tayo sa pagbisita sa Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. Mula labas hanggang loob, makikita natin. So, wag na natin pagtagalin at sabay-sabay na nating panoorin at bibigyan natin ng reaksyon. Salomo 21, pasok!
Sa BNPP, itong 2 kwarto, nandito dati yung emergency diesel generators na kung makita mo ngayon, nahugot na dito ng napakor nung dinesisyon ng i-mothball to. So, ito isang long lead time item, no?
Teka, ito ay si Mark Cojuangco. Ipinakita ang loob, ganito katibay ang tatak Marcos. Aba.
Talagang paanda rin natin to, dapat ma-order na yan, no? Gusto kong ipuntiriya na itong mismong gitna ng kalsada, 18 meters above sea level. Mas mataas ng konting generator room, no? Sa Fukushima, it was 6 meters above sea level, and they put the generators in a basement which is about at 3 meters above sea level. Kaya nung dumating yung tsunami, nalunod lahat yan, naging swimming pool yung generator site, di na makaandar. Yun ang nag-create ng problema.
So pinasok pala ng tubig yan, no? Nagka-tsunami, inabot pala yan. Ganda ng Bataan Nuclear Power Plant, no? Napakalaki. Pero talagang inabot na ng tsunami. Talagang ang Bataan Nuclear Power Plant still pa rin na nakatayo.
Itong 18 meters above sea level, kung tatama dito ang kaparehong tsunami na tumama sa Fukushima, hindi ito mababasa. So,
talaga?
Immune ito sa tsunami. Kasi nga pinili ang Napot Point dahil dati dapat bagak to. Ngunit may tsunaming tumama sa Mindanao nung pinaplano pa to. Kaya naisip ng gobyerno nung panahon na yon, ilipat sa mas mataas na lugar. Ito na yon. So, kasama ko, inimbita ko si Mark Nelson. Mark Nelson, isang environmentalistang nuclear engineer na masters from Cambridge University, environmentalistang ipinaglalaban ang nuclear sa buong mundo. So siya po ang guest speaker ng Alpas Pinas sa aming taon-taon na Stand Up for Nuclear event na nagaganap sa buong mundo, sa iba-ibang syudad ng buong mundo. Mark, wanna say a few words?
Sure. I have to admit that before I came to this site, I found it difficult to understand what Congressman Mark was so obsessed about. Just an old nuclear plant. Look, I'm sure so many things are wrong. I'm sure we could start from the beginning in a new location, no history, no baggage, all from scratch. Now that I'm actually here, I understand. I finally understand what you mean. Here it is.
It's built.
It's here.
Yeah.
Pero tinitignan natin, no, talagang kitang-kita na yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant is talagang kita mo na sobrang tibay. Pagkatagal-tagal na panahon na yung gusaling yan, kasi ibang mga gusali talagang mga nagbibitak na, talagang nasisira na, nagigiba na. Pero yan ay still pa rin na nakatayo. 'Di ba? Dumaan yung malakas na lindol noon, kung ilang lindol na umaabot, no, kung umaabot diyan, no. Pero matindi pa rin ang pagkakatayo niya. Ganon katibay ang ginawa ni Apolacay dyan sa Bataan Nuclear Power Plant na kahit anong mangyari, hindi magigiba. Basta talaga gawang Marcos, matibay, no?
We need to do is commission this.
Right.
And it only takes 4 to 5 years to get this plant running. And we're in the middle of electricity price crisis.
It's not just
Yeah.
that. As an American engineer, I come here and I see the drawings on the wall, the images, and I associate it with a time when even my country knew how to build things like this. Our capabilities have almost completely collapsed. The difficulty in building our new nuclear plant in Georgia is because basic skills were not maintained.
We're here at the beginning of the nuclear plant or any thermal plant you can go to, whether geothermal, coal, gas. Starts with water treatment. We deionize the water so that it's free of all minerals that could plug up the steam generators.
So ito pala yung loob. Ayan yung loob. Kanina nasa labas sila, ngayon nasa loob na. Ayos pala yung loob maganda pa rin. Kumbaga ang Bataan Nuclear Power Plant parang eto, nakahanda na to No, kumbaga konting ano na lang yan konting kaayusan na lang yan, konting i-ooperate na lang 'Di ba? Yung pagpayag na lang. Pero para sa akin napakaganda kung mabubuksan 'yan. 'Di ba? Malaking tulong yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant sa mga Pilipino, no? Lalo na ngayon at nagmamahal ang mga kuryente. Malaki tulong 'yan.
We are in the non-nuclear side of the plant called the balance of plant. There's nothing radioactive here. The turbine that generates electricity, that spins the generator to generate electricity, is on top of us. What you see there, the green big thing there, is the condenser. So that's a saltwater condenser. The tubes inside are made of titanium. I want you to notice the quality of the piping, the wiring, the way they put. Look at how everything in order is. Malinis na malinis, no? Pati yung mga alambre. Look at the cable
Malinis
trays.
nga
There's no plants in the Philippines that are this neat. And this is by regulation. So, this is following US NRC guidelines. This is the boundary of the balance of plant with the nuclear island. So, there's a radiation sensor there. All people going in and out are scanned for any radioactive. If I'm wearing a t-shirt and I go inside there, right? I cannot bring that t-shirt out anymore. I have to call my t-shirt now low-level nuclear waste, right? Whether it's radioactive or not, the rules are once I bring something in there, when it comes out, no, it's like booties, socks, everything, it's low-level nuclear waste. That's why there's a laundry in there. Right?
So hindi ka pa pwede, pag pumasok ka doon na may suot-suot ka, kailangan tatanggalin mo. Tama ba ako? English. Ayun.
So what's in there is in there. You don't bring it back.
Ayun,
Once it gets,
hindi pa pwedeng ilabas kung ano man ang ipinasok mo sa loob. So kung pumasok ka sa loob na nakadamit, lalabas ka na nakahubo.
what's out of there is low-level nuclear waste. Whether it's contaminated or not.
Pero parang naka-overhaul ka na lang. Pwede naman 'yon, 'di ba? Kalimitan naman sa mga nuclear, mga nagtatrabaho ron, 'di ba? Yung mga naka-overhaul sila, na takip yung katawan nila pati muka.
Notice how thick the brackets are of everything.
Maganda pa yung loob
Even if
oh.
it's a simple pipe, because this structure is built to a 0.4G seismic design basis. To give you a comparison, Fukushima was only built to a 0.18G. So this is much more stringent. And notice the walls. There's no hollow blocks here. This is all buhos. Everything here is poured concrete.
Ibay.
Look at that piping, the
Hindi tinipid.
electrical. Very neat, right? Everything has a bend, everything is clamped, everything is bolted, right? Because of earthquake.
Yeah.
This is the electrical control room of everything inside the nuclear island. There's two. There's one in the other room. And that wall is a firewall, right? They have to run at the same time. If anything here breaks, right, it's redundant. But under the rules of nuclear, if anything here breaks, they have to shut down the plant and fix it first and have at least 2 running before they can restart. So although it can run with just 1, it's never allowed to run with just 1. You need the 2 always. If you're on the outside,
Ganda ng
it's the
loob,
dome,
no?
containment dome.
Takin mo yung loob, parang hindi na bulok, no? Talaga, may na parang nagme-maintenance dyan sa loob. Napakaganda pa rin ng loob. Talagang pwede pa siyang pakinabangan. Talagang pag inoperate, konting ano na lang yan. Kung ako sana, no, gawin na yan. May operate na sana yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant, di ba mga katunay? O, kayo ba, pabor ba kayo na mabuksan ulit? Na mabuksan ang nuclear power plant, yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant na yan? Pabor ba kayo mga katunay? Comment na kayo sa comment box.
That's part of the containment dome. I'll ask you to notice the gap. In 1986, when the media was here criticizing this plant, they were saying that that's a defect, that's a big crack. But it's actually a gap between the containment and this part of the plant, so that when there's an earthquake, it can move. It's really designed so that it can move. Fukushima lessons learned if we just apply the changes over the years. I want to show you the annular space between the
Inner lining.
the inner containment, which is a steel shell 1-inch thick. Yes, 1-inch thick, right? And the outer 1 meter thick concrete dome. So this is the concrete dome. There's a steel liner in there that's 1-inch thick. In between, there's an annular space which is connected to a filter system, which sucks. So this is always under a vacuum. Things can leak in, but they can't leak out because there's a vacuum in here. The pump that draws the vacuum passes through a filter system before being ejected. So if
Kompleto na no? Parang kompleto na, no? O kung kukumpletuhin pa, konti na lang. Talagang ready to operate na yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. Di ba?
there's any radioactive material, it will be filtered before the air is evacuated. And nothing can leak out, it can only leak in. Okay, so that's containment. It's not one containment like my demonstration, the cacerola.
Well, you put
It's
the steel
actually-
liner on.
It's concrete plus steel.
Mark,
Yes,
Napagod na si
which American officials have visited this
Mark
plant?
Cojuangco.
NRC, I suppose, right?
Which diplomats, which politicians?
None.
None?
Yeah,
None.
yeah. You should.
So they go blah, 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 relations,
Yeah,
security,
yeah.
shared interests, and they haven't been here.
Okay, anyway, I want you to observe this, no? This is the welding of the inner shell. This is 1 inch thick, 25 millimeter, 30 millimeter steel, okay? Look at the welding, no? I challenge you to find
Steel.
welding as good as this anywhere in the Philippines.
Tibay.
Okay, now, this welding in America, when they build the same plant, they do 20% X-ray inspection. But because this was built in the Philippines, we did 100% X-ray inspection.
Talagang
so this plant is
sinuri talaga.
arguably safer than any plant built in America.
Kaya talagang hindi dapat talaga tatagos yung ano niyan yung radiation niyan Kaya kailangan talaga is makapal yung pagkakagawa mo. So sa Amerika nga 20 beses tines, no? Dito sa Pilipinas nga siyempre gawang Pilipinas 100 beses. 'Di ba? Kailangan hindi mag-leak yung radiation niya kasi delikado yan sa mga tao. Pero nga sinasabi ni Sir Mark Cojuangco na talagang ligtas yan, no? At hindi tatagos, no? Matibay ang pagkakagawa.
For the simple reason that they didn't trust us. So they double-checked. Right? Yun ang reactor. Yun. Takip lang to, takip.
Mark,
Hi.
I feel something. This feels similar to the tour of the AP1000 in Georgia.
Yeah, because this is the grandfather of the
A
AP1000.
difference is this feels more spacious and less crowded than the AP1000 does.
The
One of
AP
my big complaints about marketing language used to talk about nuclear plants is that if you were to hear the AP1000 boosters describe it, they say, oh, we save this much concrete, this much steel. And then I go through and I'm hitting my hard hat on things and I feel a little dizzy and claustrophobic.
Yeah.
That's worse working environment.
Yeah.
And you save almost no money. What's the point of a claim like that if it makes it worse?
Obsession with the marketing word. When they are loading or unloading fuel from the reactor, which is down there, you will be able to see it from there. No, this pool that you see here is full of water. The water is the shield from radiation of the exposed fuel assemblies. They will open the reactor, you will see the fuel will be taken out, but it's all underwater, right? After they finish the refueling, they close the reactor, everybody leaves here, they drain this water so that it's dry there, and then they start it up, right? The used fuel is brought here. You can come here and look at it here. Okay, there's a tunnel, a tube down there. They lie it down and then they pass it through. This is all underwater. When they do that, they pass it through to the spent fuel hall next door. When this is running, that is also closed. So this place is completely contained from the outside world. Nothing here can go out. This crane is used for the refueling, lifting those things in and out of the reactor. There are 121 of them there. This is just the cover. We have 2 steam generators, that one and that one, no? The one I showed you in the drawing, this one, that generates the steam, right? Our plant hasn't seen a single neutron, so that is brand new.
It's a plant for operating past 2100.
Malakas.
Yes, this will go past next century because, it's already 2022. If this is activated, 80 years. Everything in the control room is serviceable from behind. You don't have...
This is behind the control.
Yeah, you don't have to dig out the controls. You can service it from behind, right? You don't need to... The wiring is all exposed. So it's easy to maintain, right? So here we are.
Organisado ang pagkakagawa ng Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. No? Talagang sinisigurado nilang safe lahat. No? Kabaliktaran nung sinasabi nung iba na kumukontra sa Bataan Nuclear Power Plant na ayaw nilang pabuksan yan. Kasi ganito delikado, ganyan. Sus, ayaw nyo lang bumaba yung kuryente. Diba?
Are in the control room. And if you're incoming shift,
Control room.
you cannot go
Parang
straight
yung-
in here. You have to stay there for 30 minutes. So that, and then you come in during your time, the other guy goes out. And shifts here are only 2 hours. Okay, so that's the end of our tour. And this is being wasted. Wasted. In spite of a power crisis, we are wasting this.
We are wasting this. Kumbaga sinayang, no? Sinayang ang Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. Ayun, at ating natunghayan ang video, ang paglalakbay natin sa loob ng Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. Kumbaga sinasabi dyan, sinayang ang isang napakagandang proyekto ni Apo Lakay na itinayo, yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant na yan, na alam natin na makakatulong sa lahat ng mga Pilipino ngayon sa panahon ng krisis sa kuryente. Nagtataasan, maraming nahihirapan, maraming dumadaing. Ito ang magiging sagot sa lahat, pero hindi ito pinagpatuloy, yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. At sana itong Bataan Nuclear Power Plant ay muli nang maayos at muling mabuksan sa bago nating gobyerno ngayon. So once again, I'm BT and I'm out. Peace!